Sportswashing is propaganda in the case of Saudi Arabia. How do sportswashing and sports events help authoritarian regimes reach their political goals? The University of Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas. Julia Garrison and Professor Anton Shirokov. Introduction. Sportswashing. What is it? How is it used as propaganda? How is it communicated? How is it perceived? How much does it improve domestic regime legitimacy? How does it affect foreign legitimacy and perceptions? Research question. How do sports washing and sports coverage help authoritarian regimes reach their political goals? Research objectives. Be able to inspect and collect data on citizen perception of major sports events. Be able to connect human rights issues and movements to sports events. When are the major sports events held, and what are independent media outlets covering at that time? Be able to understand how the holding of a major sports event can be used to increase regime legitimacy both domestically and internationally. Sports and human rights. On October 2, 2018, Saudi anti-regime journalist Jamal Khashoggi was assassinated by Saudi government agents at the Saudi consul in Istanbul, Turkey. On October 30th, 2018, a WWE match, which was meant to take place in Saudi Arabia, was canceled by WWE due to the speculation around Khashoggi's assassination. The match was rescheduled for November 2nd, 2018, though many WWE fighters refused to participate due to the country's evident human rights issues. Research methods. Media and perceptions. Analyzing domestic pro-regime media sources and the language used in their media can aid in understanding of how exactly the government manipulates their information in their favor when related to sports events, specifically Saudi Arabia. Consumption. Analyze media consumption. How many citizens solely consume pro-regime media, and how does that manipulate their perceptions of the regime? Materials. Al Arabia. Pro-regime news outlet Al Arabia incorporates an in-depth sports section, often including political leaders such as Donald Trump, and news articles covering athletic success and sporting events. Using these countless sports-based articles to dissect information manipulation can aid in research understanding. Timelines and data. Using timelines from sports organizations such as ESPN can be used to connect timelines of political events and sporting events. Research data from academic journals such as graphs and charts can also be used. Results. According to a timeline from ESPN, many sports events happen right before or right after political and human rights issues and events. For example, on September 14, 2019, 2 Saudi oil refineries were damaged in air attacks by Iran. Then, the first women's WWE event in Saudi Arabia took place on October 31st. A Saudi economic reform, Vision 2030, has led to increased regime support through its domestic openness in hosting of major sports events. Al Arabia sports articles frequently use misleading language, and when compared to American articles, the tone and perception alter drastically. Conclusion. According to media publications, sporting event timelines, and academic research, authoritarian regimes such as Saudi Arabia use sports to distract citizens from the political and human rights issues at hand. Additionally, major sporting events can be used to positively increase foreign perception of the regime through event success. Acknowledgements. Thank you to Professor Anton Shirokov at the University of Kansas Political Science Department, and thank you to the University of Kansas Library System to aiding in the research that I completed.